This video is going to be a slightly different look at the Ravens offense. If you're new to the channel, this will be a new type of video for you. If you've been around for a while, you'll understand that this is one of my favorite style of videos to make. It's a formation video. We're going to talk about the Ravens' use of a bunch formation under Todd Monken, how balanced I think he's trying to be, not just run pass balance, but directional balance. There's a third element to it that I rarely speak about because it's going to sound weird, and I'm not sure that in one recording I'll be able to do a good job of explaining this, but it's differential timing, meaning every play isn't the same timing in terms of the ball being handed off or the ball leaving the quarterback's hands being delivered to another player. You may not be familiar with that, but I suspect that teams have done that in the past to defend the Ravens in terms of look at particularly the pistol option. Lamar gives the ball to the running back or he keeps it. The timing is the same. It's like fighting a boxer who all of his punches are 1-2. Now, the Klitschko brothers did that for years. Lennox Lewis to a certain extent, but those guys are big, heavy hitters. They could kind of get away with that. My point in bringing up the timing is and I think you'll see it during this video, and I may not be able to explain it well enough, but some of you in the comment section, please feel free to improve upon my attempt here. The timing is different on a number of these plays. The defense doesn't know when they're going to see run pass. Additionally, a couple of other things. Every iteration here has a screen. Except for under center so far, but it's very limited usage of that. We've got 23 overall plays charted through 2 games. I think I'm missing a couple of plays from the second half. We'll go over some of the data here before we start, and I'll show you guys the data we're operating from. That font may be a little small, so forgive me. I'll put a link up in the description to the file, and you're welcome to grab it if you want. But you got bunch A, bunch B, and then under center, or what I have under backfield listed as ace. So bunch A is 4 runs and 4 pass. Bunch B is 4 runs and 9 pass. Under center / pistol is 3 runs and 0 pass. I've got 10 runs and 13 passes. So balanced run pass. But it's probably too soon to extrapolate all of that and make a final statement on it. This is my first attempt to do this with the bunch formation. I'm going to try another formation on Friday. Directional balance, well, we'll see when we show you the plays. The timing I've already mentioned in terms of when the ball gets out of Lamar's hands versus when, along with, I should say, when he hands the ball off to a running back. The timing isn't all the same for the defense to determine whether it's run or pass and which side it's going to. Additionally, there's another element in terms of the personnel usage. It should be the 6th column for you guys from the left. You can see 21 personnel, you can see 12 personnel, 20 personnel, 11 personnel. Monken is making you defend the bunch out of every personnel grouping. Let's get to the film because I know it was a little bit of a long lead in. So like I said, there's going to be 3 iterations of it. We're going to deal with bunch A first, and I think this is one of my favorite plays for the Ravens is bunch A. In the past, bunch A, where the running back is on the same side as the bunch, has been a pass formation. I'm talking 90-95% for the Ravens. This is, I think, the main play that Monken wants to run out of this formation. He runs it on short yardage, pin, pull, pitch, and we've ran it to great success. We've got a touchdown by J.K. Dobbins against the Texans. You've converted multiple 3rd downs. Justice Hill is perfect for this because he's got the speed to threaten to the edge, and he's willing to cut and get downhill. I'm going to tell you who else is thriving from this is Morgan Moses. I got him at 4 KOs this year, 3 of them on this concept, and I mean huge KOs like that one. Pin, pull, pitch. Every formation has a screen as well. You got bunch right A into the boundary here. And the screen is going to go to the field. This is forcing the Bengals to put the nickel into the boundary and then kind of declare what they want to do. You can see that they declared into a 1-high structure, and probably because additionally they knew that Zay Flowers was getting ready to motion. I would also offer that we've got the opportunity to throw the football out here at some point if teams are going to give us this look. But you can see the delayed nature of it. Lamar faking the handoff. I love that it's motion, then play action, then the screen. The nickel blitzer here, I think it's Dax Hill. I just love the timing of it. There's multiple things happening for the defense. Are we giving the ball to Dax Hill? No. Are we possibly throwing a pass downfield? No, Lamar's trying to sell it, but now he realizes he doesn't have any more time to sell it. He's got to get the heck out of the way. pump fakes the guy out of the way, flips it out there to Justice Hill. Incredible play. But screens, having a screen to either side is important. Week one, bunch A, 3rd and 1, and you've got the opportunity to give the ball to J.K. Dobbins or throw it out here on the screen. Think of the last play I just showed you. The backside safety has got to think about coming down here if we're willing to run the ball over to this side. Now, this is not going to be pin, pull, pitch because the bunch is too wide. This is a different iteration of bunch A. Yes, the running back and the bunch is on the same side, but the bunch is way wider. But there's still the opportunity for Lamar to give the football or us to call it. I suspect that right now, early in the season, Monken is calling most of these things, not because Lamar can't read some of them, but because Monken wants to predetermine what the defense is going to have to defend this early in the year and then adjust off of it. You can see that all eyes are on Lamar or in the backfield. And and it looks great pursuit by the Texans. Like they've got great speed. Guys are running inside out like they're supposed to. The Bengals are also very fast as well. But look at all the pursuit from the inside. If we can find ways to hold those guys just a little bit longer, possibly gives Zay Flowers an attempt to cut back a third time. Goal line short yardage play, same one I showed you before. Pin, pull, pitch or crack pitch, where you're pulling Kolar and you're pulling Moses out here, and those guys go get people. They go get people. There is no fake when they get out there on the edge. They have clearly been coached to go for home runs, at least in the case of Moses. Now, this is unbalanced, so this is a little evil. I'm not addressing this necessarily in this video, but this is forcing the defense, which I personally don't think NFL defenses often adjust to unbalance quick enough. They're seeing Morgan Moses here. No one recognizes Ronnie Stanley. Look, this is one of the benefits to having a left D end and a right D end. He seems to be the first guy noticing it. Why? Well, he's been going against Ronnie Stanley all day. This is the third possession. Ronnie Stanley's not over there. So he's got to be the guy to communicate that. That's one of the benefits to going right and left, is that you know who the tackle should be to your side. I love the physical element of this. Unfortunately, we don't get to see J.K. Dobbins play football again this year, but it's a cool concept, and the Ravens are using it to great effect. Okay, one of my favorite plays to talk about, or that we ran, I just kind of chuckled when I saw this. It's bunch left A, and this is zone weak over here to the side where there's no fullback, there's no tight end, and no one's leading over there. We're just running zone to that side. OBJ is trying to go get the safety, force the corner to tackle. We're running it away from that side. Of course, if you look at it from the end zone angle, there's going to be an opportunity for us to fake the handoff and Lamar to keep it. So we're going to try to keep people honest in terms of their alignment. Additionally, when they line up, they being the Texans or any defense, what play do they have to worry about stopping first? Pin, pull, pitch. So Monken is threatening over here to the outside, here to the B gap. Maybe he cuts it back, and then the screen as well goes off screen to our right, outside of our visual area right now. So he's threatening horizontally with 3 immediate concepts. Well, the screen is a delay, so. And then you got the bubble as well. This is a reverse engineered offense. Said this in the Discord a couple of days ago. This is a reverse engineered offense where Monken has a hit chart, and he's making sure that they're hitting not every gap, but at least every side of the field. We used to do that when we were tracking offenses. If they never attack the weak side B gap, then we feel like we can line up in certain ways. I'm not saying leave that gap available, but we understand that we don't have to defend all of the field in an honest fashion. To me, Monken has reverse engineered this in that he's saying, okay, I need to attack here, here, and here, and then let me have these concepts that do so. And I think he's also stolen concepts from other teams, different places. This is just a visual representation of what I talked about a moment ago, in that you have the pin pull pitch to the bunch side. You got the screen late to this side, which is going to be this play to Dobbins, and then the inside zone weak that hit B gap with Justice Hill for the touchdown. We're not just talking about run pass balance. We're talking about directional balance, directional threat to either side. And we haven't even talked about Lamar really keeping the ball a lot, which I think bodes well for our offense, that we haven't used it a ton. All right, let's move on to bunch B. 13, again, the data 13 passes, 13 plays, excuse me, 4 runs, 9 passes. So it's clearly more pass oriented, pass based. But look at how Monken does this. He puts us in A. If these guys and these guys are memorizing A, and you can see that Jalen Petre appears to be pointing over there to that side. I think at this point we have already thrown the screen to Zay Flowers on the 3rd down earlier to get the 1st down. Well, then we immediately go to B. Well, the numbers just changed in terms of the tendencies. Now, you may say, Coach, like it's only 13 plays. Yeah, but if you get that data representation through 8 weeks, then you can bank on it. Because you're talking about a human being who created the offense and a human being who creates the play call sheet. I love the timing here. I do wish Lamar got rid of the ball a little bit earlier, but I'm talking about the timing conceptually of when we're trying to get rid of the ball. It's 2nd and 18. We've got longer developing routes. Every formation, to me, doesn't just threaten horizontally to either side, but it also checks off all these boxes. And then middle of the field, I'll talk about that a little bit more later, but it checks off all these boxes in terms of short, in terms of deep, and then maybe some intermediate stuff as well. Forgive the crude nature of the drawing. It's not easy to draw with the mouse on this app that I'm using. End zone angle, again, this is bunch B. It starts out as A, moves over to B. At some point, we're going to have to talk about Lamar keeping the football, reading these guys whenever we run like a mesh fake. But look at the timing on this play. Now, I can only speak to this because I used to do this. We used to do this as a staff, and I was taught it by someone way smarter than me. Track the timing of the offense's plays. If the timing is all the same, then all of your drills during the week have to be on that timing to simulate what your players are going to see, number one. Number two, build in their reactions defensively. All right, you got bunch B again. Oh, my bad. You got bunch B again, and I love the timing on this. It's a typical timing, I think. It's a 3rd and 5. It's a China out to Zay Flowers, complete to man. We're in 11 personnel. Rashad Bateman's open over the middle too, but Lamar had already decided to get it to Flowers. You can't blame him. Ends up being a big play for a 1st down. I feel like this is, I almost wanted to say this was Monken's 3rd down formation bunch, but then when I looked at how many plays I'm talking about, 23. Well, I'm only going to show you 13 plays, but 23 plays. Normally, 1st, 2nd, 3rd down, there's 3 possible outcomes there. There were 8 of them that were 3rd downs, which is pretty representative in terms of equal balance, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. You would think about a 1/3 of the plays would be 1st down, a 1/3 would be 2nd down, and a 1/3 would be 3rd down. And that's what it came out to. It came out to 8 out of 23. So I thought that was interesting. 3rd and 6 going bunch again. Checking, I think this is just check X fade. Lamar, has a bubble up here. So let's talk about that for a moment. He's got the option to attack deep here, which he takes. It's like a 28, 29-yard gain to OBJ. Great catch, great throw. Also, out of 11 personnel, so only 1 tight end, we're up here and we can go block and run the bubble to Zay Flowers. Lamar has the option to go there as well. I would say that pre-snap, this is the type of thing that he can decide what he's going to do, or he can check it like he just did right here. I'm not sure why we didn't take that. To me, it looks like we got a great opportunity to go there, but look, this ain't a bad option down here either, right? And that's the whole point. Monken has created an offense that gives Lamar multiple good options on every play. As a Ravens fan, like it feels like Christmas every day. I'm, at the risk of sounding like a jerk and criticizing Greg Roman needlessly, because he did some of these things, but I don't think he did all of them all of the time out of every formation. And that's the reason why someone like me, with the limited football knowledge I have, can sit here and talk about not just run pass balance, but directional balance and then differential timing as well, because we didn't have those things. And over the course of 2.5 years, that was revealed to us that defenses played on those tendencies or that lack of balance. So it's not that I was super smart or anybody else was super smart in seeing these things out of Monken's offense. It's that the absence of these things the last couple of years consistently is now making us happy to have it for all of our players, but particularly Lamar. All right, bunch B. One of the things that Monken really likes to do is put the bunch into the boundary out of 11 personnel or 20 personnel. I feel like he's putting the bunch to the field out of 12 personnel or 21 personnel. And then out of 11 personnel, I feel like he's putting the bunch to the boundary. I haven't looked at it yet in terms of the output from those inputs. I have a database that I use to generate all this information. I do track it during the game and hand enter the information in the database. I'd like to automate it, but it's kind of clunky right now. But that seems like one of the things he's doing is 11 personnel to the boundary bunch, 12 and 21 personnel, the bunch is to the field. So you've got the opportunity to look at Zay Flowers out there in the flats, not necessarily on this play, but we've got what looks to be split zone developing with Ricard going after the backside D end. And with the nickel over there to the field, what this does, what that motion forces the defense to do is really do one of two things. Well, I guess potentially three. There could be, and the Bengals used to do a little bit of the second one. So the nickel is here, down into the boundary. He has to be. If he's not there, the nickel's feet are up here, and we've got bunch down there, and one of those guys is Ricard. We should be running stretch. We should be running outside zone into the boundary. Force these guys to get moving. Because the nickel or this D end is going to have to hold in that situation I'm describing. Why? Because of Lamar. Potentially keeping it to the field. But anyway, by putting the bunch to the boundary in 11 personnel, when we motion here, this safety has to spin down, or an inside linebacker has to move out, which the Bengals used to do a little bit of that. Or if it's a 3-4 structure, an OLB's got to roll with Flowers. Not necessarily matching up. It might be a zone call, but Monken is forcing the nickel to be into the boundary against 11 personnel bunch and then motioning to the field to manipulate who is available to defend certain plays. I'm not going to go into specifics there, but I think that's pretty obvious in terms of why he's putting 11 personnel bunch into the boundary, 12 and 21 personnel bunch to the field. Let me know what you think of that thought. Maybe you can expand on it more than I can. I would hope to look at it again a little bit more before Sunday's game and have a little bit more concrete ways to talk about it. There's got to be the opportunity for Lamar to keep it here and Ricard to read it. Ricard, read this guy with Lamar. If this guy was to run down the line of scrimmage, which he theoretically should not, because he doesn't have nickel help outside of him, then Lamar could keep it and fold over the top. There's a multitude of plays available for this offense still, and Monken appears to have built it in genius fashion. All right, so under center, I think I'll give you 2 iterations of this, and then pistol, and then we'll be done. I don't know if you guys are looking for this type of information, and perhaps I've haven't gone as deep into this topic as I'd like to, but I want to do this for every formation, or as many as I can, over the course of the season, and then revisit them later to see if the data is still the same. That's why it puts pressure on me. But by giving you the information that I have, it holds my feet to the fire in terms of showing you the data in a realistic manner. That's why I'm doing it. All right, so under center, you got jet by Flowers into the boundary. And again, this is 12 personnel bunch, so where is it? To the field. And you got jet, and then pin pull pitch to the field. And I think you get another KO for Moses on a 6-yard gain by Justice Hill. I'd love to see Keaton Mitchell, Kenyon Drake out there on this concept in space running. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I see pitch pass at some point. Last year, we ran it with Lamar in bunch A. We run to this side. I think it was down in New Orleans. These guys all move out to the side and then likely leaks out. I see pitch pass coming. Where's the nickel going to be? 12 personnel bunch to the field. He's got to be to the bunch. The safety is going to look to fill as well. I see pitch pass coming. Sounds like a dangerous concept, but I think Monken has got things in place, plays in place. Additionally, I like here that we're pulling the left tackle on this to maybe set up the cutback. Our left tackle, Macari or Stanley, either one is athletic enough to get out here, potentially set up the cutback. The jet is coming. The give on the jet is coming. I'd like to see OBJ go get involved here. Leave this guy every time we run the jet motion. So what I mean is go here on the pin pull pitch. Go here on the jet. Leave him totally unblocked. So he gets a consistent look. Why am I saying that? Well, generally, when it's trips to the field or bunch to the field, this guy's in man. If it's a man coverage call and OBJ goes here, and it goes there on pass plays as well, that corner's got to go with him. That's one of the ways to take advantage of 3-by-1 sets. If you're getting man coverage, now it doesn't appear that it was going to be man coverage there. CTB stayed, but that's one of the points that the teams do. Backside of 3-by-1, same concept here. 12 personnel bunch. Where's the bunch? To the field. Jet pin pull pitch. Back to the field on 3rd and 3. Great job by DJ Reader. He beats Kevin Zeitler. Gets out there to the field. I mean, DJ Reader's just a stud. I'm just looking at this on the backside. I feel like you gotta show more of a look in terms of what you would do on the jet. And if you don't think they're going to play man backside, then he's got to go stalk block. He's got to go stalk block this guy. In this case, the Bengals would be well set up to stop the jet because they walked an inside linebacker down. But it gives us the threat to one side with the jet, one side with the pin pull. You got the play action pass, which we haven't seen yet out of this formation to my knowledge. You guys let me know what you think of the video, looking at formations, trying to reveal as much of the information as I understand it in terms of run pass balance, directional balance, timing balance, where the hit chart where for run plays, which gaps or which side of the field are being attacked, and then the hit chart for passes, short passes, intermediate passes, long passes. I haven't done that yet. If anyone's interested in helping out with that, feel free to let me know, because I'm still entering data for the Ravens offense in the database for player name and how many yards we're averaging per play out of each concept. So appreciate you guys' time. Let me know what you think of the video in the comment section. I'd like to get one more thing like this out Friday morning, but that's Friday morning. I guess I'm going to try to dedicate for the podcast where I reveal all of the data to you guys that I've tried to aggregate through 2 weeks. Appreciate your time. If you think other Ravens fans would enjoy this content, please consider grabbing a link to it, sharing it on social media to help this content get more reach.